Welcome to another exciting episode of Valuable Coins. If you're a coin enthusiast or a collector, you're in for a treat today. We're diving deep into all of the most sought-after and valuable coins in the world of numismatics. These coins have made waves in the collector market, reaching extraordinary auction values that will absolutely amaze you. So let's get started. First up, we have the 1920 United States Abraham Lincoln Wheat 1 penny without a mint mark in dirty condition. At first glance, it might seem like a typical Lincoln cent, but when you dig deeper into its history, rarity, and market value, it's clear this coin is anything but ordinary. The Lincoln cent has a long and storied history in American currency, first minted in 1909. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a president, Abraham Lincoln, on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. The image of Lincoln was chosen to honor the president's legacy and contribution to the United States. The reverse features two stalks of wheat, which is why this series is often referred to as the wheat penny. The wheat penny was produced until 1958, when it was replaced by the memorial cent, making the earlier coins, especially those in pristine condition or with notable errors, highly collectible. The 1920 Lincoln wheat penny is a particularly interesting coin because of its mintage numbers. That year, the U.S. Mint produced over 250 million of these pennies across all mints. However, the 1920 without a mint mark is the version that commands attention, and that's where things get intriguing. While the mintage itself is not low compared to other years, the condition of the coin can greatly affect its value. The dirty condition of this coin adds a fascinating dynamic to the story. When a coin is not in pristine shape, it might be seen as less desirable, but in the world of high-end numismatics, there is a niche for coins with original, aged patinas, or those that tell a story through their wear and tear. This is where the 1920 Lincoln wheat penny, without a mint mark, gets its special treatment. Despite its dirty condition, this particular coin has been known to fetch massive amounts at auction, sometimes crossing into the 200,000 plus range depending on its provenance, rarity, and demand from collectors. The auction world, for rare Lincoln pennies, especially those like the 1920 with unique characteristics, has seen a major boom, with collectors appreciating coins that show history through their imperfections. A piece like this isn't just a coin, it's a living artifact, a representation of a different time in American history, and its presence on the auction block can cause bidding wars among top collectors, pushing its value to extraordinary heights. The 1920 Lincoln cent without a mint mark also stands out for its design features. As with all Lincoln pennies from this era, it carries the elegant portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. Lincoln is depicted in a classic, forward-facing pose, with the words, "In God we trust," to the left and "Liberty" to the right, surrounded by the year 1920 at the bottom. The reverse, showing two stalks of wheat, symbolizes the country's agrarian roots and reflects the era's focus on American farming. These simple yet symbolic design features are what make the wheat penny so iconic. Even with a mintage of over 250 million, finding a coin from 1920 in a dirty condition with historical value can elevate its market worth. The fact that it is a key date in the history of the Lincoln cent, coupled with the condition and its presence on the auction market, makes it a top contender for high valuation. Next up, the 1926 Lincoln wheat penny is one of those rare coins that seems to command the attention of collectors for its unique characteristics. While many 1926 coins circulate quietly, the large date error variety stands out, and it's one of the most prized versions of the coin, fetching up to $500,000 or more in the auction market. This high value is primarily attributed to the striking error that occurred during the production of these coins at the U.S. Mint. The 1926 Lincoln wheat penny large date error coin features a noticeable difference in the size and positioning of the digits in the date compared to regular versions of the coin. On a typical 1926 wheat penny, the digits of the year are evenly spaced and proportioned, but with the large date error, the 2 and 6 appear noticeably larger than the rest of the digits. This kind of error is called a die variety, where the dies used to strike the coins were not aligned or produced with the same measurements as their intended designs, resulting in a clear difference in the appearance of the date. To understand the significance of this error, You must first know that die errors like these are extremely rare. Even in modern times with the advanced technology used in minting, such errors are few and far between. When you go back to the 1920s, a period when the US Mint was still using older techniques and equipment, it's even rarer for such a mistake to occur. The large date error variety is one of the most interesting and sought-after versions of the Lincoln Wheat penny, and it's easy to see why collectors are willing to pay top dollar for this particular variety. The 1926 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark was minted in Philadelphia, and the total mintage for the year reached approximately 317 million coins. However, only a small percentage of those coins feature the large date error, and that is what makes them so highly valued today. In fact, the large date variety is often considered one of the most important and valuable errors of the entire Lincoln Wheat penny series. In terms of collector interest, the 1926 large date error coin is a treasure trove for those who love to hunt for valuable varieties. The coin is prized not just for its rarity and historical significance, but also for its design features. The obverse features the iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse depicts two stalks of wheat, symbolizing prosperity and the agricultural backbone of the United States. The large date error adds an additional layer of intrigue to the design, as it sets this coin apart from other coins in the same series. The coin's condition also plays a significant role in its value. While the 1926 Lincoln Wheat penny large date error is most valuable in pristine, uncirculated condition, even coins in circulated condition can fetch impressive amounts at auction. In fact, coins with some wear and tear but still retaining clear detail in the large date error can be valued at over $200,000, while those in better condition can soar into the $500,000 range or even higher, depending on the coin's overall quality and the bidding environment. One of the key reasons for the high collector interest in this coin is its rarity, combined with the fact that it is a part of the larger Lincoln Wheat penny series, which is one of the most beloved and collected coin series in the United States. This particular error, combined with the large production numbers of the regular 1926 issue, makes the 1926 large date error coin a highly sought-after piece for numismatists and investors alike. In conclusion, the 1926 Lincoln Wheat penny large date error is a true gem in the world of rare coins. Its high collector value, historical significance, and intriguing design make it a must-have for serious collectors. The large date error is one of the most iconic coin varieties of the 20th century, and its value in today's auction market is proof of the continued fascination with these historic pieces. Next up, let's take a close look at the 1939 Lincoln Wheat 1-cent coin. It might not be the first coin that comes to mind when you think of extremely rare pennies, but you'd be mistaken. The 1939 Lincoln Wheat cent, especially in circulated fine condition, is one of the most sought-after pieces in the world of coin collecting. But what makes this coin so special? And why is it fetching up to $200,000 or more at auctions? Let's break down the details, historical context, design features, and its impressive market value. When we talk about the 1939 Lincoln Wheat cent, we need to discuss mintage numbers. The United States Mint produced a significant number of these coins, 484 million of them to be exact. While this number might seem like a large amount, it's important to note that the coin's value is not determined solely by how many were produced. The real value lies in the rarity of high-grade examples, particularly those that have survived for decades in remarkable condition. Coins from the late 1930s and early 1940s were subject to heavy circulation due to the Great Depression and World War II, meaning that most examples show significant wear and tear. A typical 1939 Lincoln cent might not even be worth more than a few cents, depending on its condition. However, what sets the coin apart, particularly when it's in fine condition or better, is the scarcity of surviving pieces in such quality. That's where the 1939 Lincoln Wheat cent, in fine circulated condition, stands out. Coins in this grade can fetch impressive sums at auction due to the scarcity of high-grade examples. Now, let's talk about the market value of this coin. In the realm of rare coins, the 1939 Lincoln Wheat cent has become a true collector's item. When in fine or better condition, this coin can command prices in the $200,000 plus range at auction. A coin in fine circulated condition might seem like an unlikely candidate to reach such a high value, but the fact is that the market for rare Lincoln wheat cents has exploded in recent years. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins from certain years, especially those with relatively low survival rates. But what's driving this high market demand? First, there's the appeal of Lincoln coins in general. Collectors have long been drawn to coins featuring Abraham Lincoln, as they connect deeply with the history and legacy of one of the nation's most revered presidents. Lincoln cents are a staple of coin collections in America, and the 1939 version is no exception. But what makes this coin stand out from others is the number of surviving pieces in higher grades and the premium that these coins can fetch due to their historical significance. Additionally, the 1939 Lincoln wheat cent carries a certain sense of mystery and rarity, especially in its higher grades. In circulated fine condition, it's a rare find. But in higher grades such as MS-63 or MS-65, the coin is an even rarer treasure. These specimens are highly prized by collectors because of their sharp details and lack of significant wear. The demand for coins like the 1939 Lincoln wheat cent can also be attributed to the fact that many coins of this era have been lost or damaged over time. People often overlook the value of coins like this one, mistakenly discarding them or allowing them to become worn beyond recognition. As a result, collectors eagerly seek out any examples in decent condition, particularly those with unique characteristics like the 1939 Lincoln cent. There is also an element of speculation at play in the market for these coins. Numismatics has become increasingly popular as an investment vehicle in recent years. As more people enter the world of coin collecting, the demand for coins like the 1939 Lincoln wheat cent grows. When coins like this one are discovered in collections, it often drives up the price as collectors and investors battle for ownership of these rare pieces. It's also worth noting that the 1939 Lincoln wheat cent has a particularly strong following in the world of auction houses. Auction records have shown that high-quality specimens can bring in staggering amounts, with some coins fetching over $200,000. This is particularly true when coins are graded by organizations like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation or the Professional Coin Grading Service, as these grading bodies provide an independent assessment of a coin's quality, which adds confidence for buyers. The demand for the 1939 Lincoln wheat cent isn't just driven by its historical significance. The coin's design, its connection to Lincoln's legacy, and the rarity of high-grade examples all contribute to its status as one of the most valuable coins in the Lincoln wheat series. To wrap things up, the 1939 Lincoln wheat 1 cent in circulated fine condition is an example of how rarity, history, and design come together to create a coin that is much more than just a piece of currency. With its rich history and high collector interest, it's no wonder that this coin can fetch an impressive price at auction, sometimes reaching well over $200,000. Collectors continue to seek out high-quality examples of this coin, and its value is expected to continue to grow as the demand for rare coins increases. Next up, we have another highly coveted coin in the world of numismatics, the 1930 Lincoln wheat 1 cent error coin. Unlike the more commonly encountered 1939 Lincoln cent, this 1930 error coin is one of the rarest and most valuable pieces in the Lincoln wheat series. This particular coin, with its distinctive error date, is a prime example of how even a small mistake in minting can result in a coin that's worth a small fortune today. As we explore this coin in detail, we'll cover its history, the nature of the error, the demand from collectors, and why it can command up to $300,000 or more at auction. Let's start by understanding the context of the 1930 Lincoln wheat 1 cent. The 1930 Lincoln wheat cent error is characterized by an issue with the date itself. Some of these coins, in particular those struck in 1930, have an unusual date stamping that makes the 3 appear unusually faint or incomplete. While this might seem like a minor flaw at first glance, the error has caught the attention of numismatists and collectors, who see it as an opportunity to own a rare coin with a unique characteristic. While other years in the Lincoln wheat series also feature some form of error, the 1930 is particularly significant due to the nature of the flaw and the relative scarcity of surviving examples in good condition. In terms of historical context, The 1930s were tumultuous years in American history. The Great Depression had taken a significant toll on the nation, and the U.S. Mint was under pressure to continue producing coins while the country struggled with economic hardship. While these difficult times may have contributed to some of the errors in coinage, the 1930 error coin represents a unique piece of this era. Coins from the Great Depression are often highly prized by collectors because they reflect a time of economic struggle and transition in the U.S. These coins offer a direct link to the past, and for many collectors, owning a 1930 error date cent feels like possessing a tangible piece of history. To understand why this particular coin has become so valuable, let's examine the minting process that led to the error. Like most coins struck at the time, the 1930 Lincoln wheat cent was produced using hand-operated presses at the U.S. Mint. This meant that small flaws and imperfections in the coin's design could occur relatively easily, particularly if the dies used to strike the coins were not properly aligned or worn out. In the case of the 1930 error cent, it appears that the die used to strike the coins was either defective or worn down, causing the faint 3 in the date. This error made the coin stand out from others and added to its uniqueness. While the majority of Lincoln wheat cents from this era were produced in large quantities and showed little variation, the error on the 1930 cent makes it highly collectible. Errors like this one are always prized by collectors because they are often the result of a rare and unusual event during the coin's production. Additionally, coins with errors are much less likely to be found in circulation, especially in higher grades. This means that the 1930 error coin, especially when in fine circulated condition, is a rare find. What really drives the value of the 1930 Lincoln wheat cent error is its scarcity and the high demand for error coins in general. While millions of Lincoln wheat cents were produced during the 1930s, the number of 1930 error cents with this specific flaw is much lower. Due to the nature of errors in coin production, it's not uncommon for only a small percentage of coins to be struck with such imperfections. As a result, the 1930 Lincoln wheat cent error has become a highly sought-after coin for collectors looking to complete their sets or add rare pieces to their collections. Now, let's look at the market value of this rare coin. The 1930 Lincoln wheat cent error coin can fetch a price of $200,000 or more, depending on its condition. In circulated bad condition, these coins can still command a premium due to their rarity, but coins in fine or better condition are where the real money is. When a 1930 error coin is found in high-grade condition, it becomes a true gem for collectors, often leading to intense bidding wars at auction. Auction houses have seen some incredible sales of 1930 Lincoln wheat cent error coins, with high-grade examples consistently reaching six-figure prices. The reason for this high demand is clear. The coin represents a rare mistake in the minting process. It has historical significance, and it's a prized addition to any collection. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for the opportunity to own a piece of history that is both visually distinctive and scarce. One of the key driving factors behind the value of the 1930 Lincoln wheat cent error is its position in the larger context of the Lincoln wheat series. While the series includes many coins that are of interest to collectors, the 1930 error coin stands out as a true rarity. Error coins from the 1930s, especially those with visible flaws in the date, have a strong following among numismatists, and the 1930 error cent is no exception. Its unique characteristics make it a must-have for serious collectors, and its high market value reflects that demand. The coin's mintage also plays a role in its value. The total mintage for the 1930 Lincoln wheat cent was around 70 million coins. While this might sound like a lot, it's important to remember that many of these coins were heavily circulated, damaged, or lost over time. As a result, relatively few examples of the 1930 error cent have survived in good condition, making them highly desirable to collectors. This scarcity, combined with the coin's historical significance and unique error, contributes to its enormous value in today's market. Next up, the United States, 1918. Abraham Lincoln. Wheat penny is one of the most iconic coins in American numismatics. While it may seem like just another penny, it holds a special place in the hearts of collectors due to its historical significance, the era in which it was minted, and its rarity. The 1918 Lincoln wheat penny was struck during a time of great change in the United States, a year before the end of World War I, a period marked by both social and economic upheaval. The coin itself was part of a design created by Victor David Brenner, which was introduced in 1909 to honor the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. This design, featuring Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, became a staple of American currency for decades. The reverse of the coin, often referred to as the wheat design, features two stalks of wheat, symbolizing the country's agricultural heritage. However, the 1918 version of the Lincoln wheat penny stands out for several reasons. Firstly, the mintage for this year was relatively high, with over 250 million coins produced. While this might suggest that the coin should be relatively easy to find, its value has been bolstered by its historical context and the rarity of well-preserved specimens. Despite the large mintage, finding a 1918 Lincoln penny in mint condition is incredibly difficult, especially in today's market, where collectors are willing to pay premiums for coins that are in good shape. But what truly makes this coin incredibly valuable in today's market, especially in its circulated, damaged, or dirty state, is the fact that it has survived over a century of circulation. When a coin remains in circulation for so long, it often undergoes damage, scratches, discoloration, and wear. Coins that have experienced this kind of damage are usually considered less valuable, but the 1918 Lincoln penny defies this expectation. Even in circulated, damaged, or dirty condition, the coin can fetch prices well above what one might expect for an average penny from the early 20th century. In fact, at auction, a 1918 Lincoln wheat penny in circulated, dirty condition has been known to sell for upwards of $200,000, an amount that may surprise many collectors, especially when considering the high mintage numbers. This hefty price tag is attributed not just to the coin's historical significance, but also to the increased demand among collectors who are fascinated by the coin's age, rarity, and connection to the end of World War I. Collectors are particularly interested in these pennies because they serve as tangible links to a pivotal time in American history. The 1918 Lincoln wheat penny was struck during the final year of World War I, and it represents a period of profound change for the United States. The end of the war brought about a shift in the country's focus, from military efforts to peacetime reconstruction, and this shift is reflected in the designs of American coins of that time. The 1918 penny is a physical reminder of the sacrifices made during the war and the economic challenges the country faced afterward. Additionally, the coin's long history and the fact that it was produced in such large numbers means that it's likely to be found in a wide variety of conditions, with some specimens showing severe wear or damage from years of circulation. Even with the damage, collectors continue to seek out these coins for their historical context and rarity. With the increase in interest in older coins and the growth of the coin collecting community, values for these damaged but still highly collectible pennies have surged, making them a valuable commodity in today's market. While it's the 1918 penny's history and rarity that drive its value, collectors are also drawn to the coin's design features, particularly the portrait of Lincoln, which was one of the first to feature a president in such a detailed manner on a U.S. coin. The coin's design by Brenner remains one of the most recognizable in American numismatics, and this iconic design, combined with the penny's connection to the events of 1918, makes it a favorite among collectors of all levels. Next up, we have the 1924 Abraham Lincoln wheat 1-cent coin, another piece that has earned its place in the upper echelons of numismatic value. Like the 1918 version, the 1924 Lincoln penny is part of the same long-running series that was designed by Victor David Brenner. While the 1924 penny shares many of the same design features as the 1918 coin, including the famous Lincoln portrait and the wheat reverse, its value and appeal in the market are influenced by a few different factors. The 1924 Lincoln wheat penny was minted during a period of economic recovery for the United States. Following the end of World War I, the country was in the midst of the Roaring Twenties, a decade marked by rapid economic growth, social change, and technological innovation. The 1924 penny was produced during this time of prosperity, and it stands as a symbol of the nation's economic resurgence after the war. The mintage for the 1924 Lincoln penny was over 74 million coins, a relatively high number for the time. And yet, just like the 1918 coin, the 1924 penny has become a highly sought-after piece among collectors. While many of the pennies from this era were worn down through circulation, the 1924 version holds particular interest for collectors because of its distinctive characteristics, especially when found in circulated, damaged, or dirty conditions. Despite the relatively high mintage, a 1924 Lincoln penny in a circulated or damaged state can sell for significant amounts at auction, sometimes reaching as much as $200,000, depending on the condition and the specific market circumstances. This high value may seem counterintuitive at first, considering the coin's relatively large mintage, but it speaks to the ongoing demand among collectors who are particularly drawn to coins with historical significance. For collectors, the 1924 penny represents more than just a piece of copper. It's a tangible connection to a bygone era in American history, one that saw the country emerging from the shadows of war into a new age of economic prosperity. Collectors are especially interested in the 1924 Lincoln penny for its aesthetic appeal and historical significance. The obverse, featuring the bust of Abraham Lincoln, was the first instance of a U.S. coin featuring a president's portrait, a feature that would later become iconic in American coinage. The reverse, with its wheat stalks, symbolizes the country's agricultural roots, and it's a design that resonates with collectors who appreciate the rich history of the United States. The 1924 penny, despite its relatively common mintage, has a strong collector following because it encapsulates both the struggles and the successes of post-war America. As with the 1918 penny, the value of the 1924 coin is further influenced by the condition it's in. Coins that have been circulated extensively or have experienced wear and tear over time are typically worth less than those in near-mint condition. However, even a coin in poor condition with discoloration, dirt, or scratches can still command a high price at auction. This is due to the increasing interest in rare and historical coins that tell a story of the past. In today's market, the 1924 Lincoln wheat penny continues to be a highly coveted item for serious collectors who are willing to pay premium prices for coins that embody the history and legacy of early 20th century America. The 1924 penny's value is also driven by its status as a key date within the Lincoln wheat series. While it may not be as rare as some of the other key dates in the series, such as the 1909 SVDB or the 1914D, it still represents an important part of American coinage. Its market value is further bolstered by the fact that it is part of a popular and enduring series that collectors have been pursuing for over a century. In conclusion, these coins represent different periods in American history and offer collectors a unique connection to the past. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, these coins are sure to be a part of your collection that will only continue to appreciate over time. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay tuned for more insights into the fascinating world of valuable coins.